Yes. So those are the, I mean to say, the religions at that time, Zoroastrianism. So what happens is that we'll come back to that page again, 184. Yes. And the Indian Constitution recognizes the right for everyone to practice any religion and develop their own language and culture. We all are one despite the differences. Our culture today. Culture consists of ideas, beliefs, customs, art, religion, music, and dance. The food habits of people, the festivals they celebrate, their art and handicrafts are all part of their culture. Yesterday I told you. Festivals. Some festivals are religious and some are linked to the seasons. National festivals such as Independence Day, Republic Day, and Gandhi Jayanti are celebrated throughout the country. Festivals such as Diwali. Now, these are national festivals, okay, which all Indians have to celebrate it because we are all citizens of India. This has got nothing to do with religion, okay, because these people had fought for the independence. Republic, we became Republic on Republic Day. Gandhi Jayanti is his birthday, Gandhiji's birthday. Independence is the day we got freedom, 1947, 15th August. It's got nothing to do with religion. So it is our Indian right. It's an obligation. We have to respect our country. Secondly, festivals such as Diwali, Dashera, Holi, Eid and Christmas are also celebrated throughout the country. Other festivals such as Baisakhi, Basant Panchami, Pongal, Onam, Guru Parv and Bihu are celebrated in some parts but not all over. Like Guru Parv is celebrated by the Punjabis, Onam is celebrated in South India, Basant Panchami is celebrated in Bihar and Bengal, Pongal again it's in South India, Onam is in South India, Bihu is in Assam, Baisakhi is all over India, Bengal and Punjab. Pehla Boishak in the 14th of April or 13th of April that happens. We also celebrate the birthdays of gods and great men as festivals. For example, Lord Krishna's birthday is Janmashtami. The birthday of Gautam Buddha is celebrated on Buddha Purnima. Lord Mahavir's birthday is celebrated as Mahavir Jayanti and Guru Nanak's birthday as Guru Parv. Dance and music. India has two major kinds of dances, classical and folk. The classical dance such as Bharatnatyam is popular in Tamil Nadu, Kathakali in Kerala, Kathak in the north, Kuchipudi in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, Manipuri is in Manipur, Odissi is in Odisha. Most of these dances tell stories of our two epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. These dances they follow the story of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ancient Indian knowledge has been passed on by word of mouth. Stories with moral lessons were told through song, dance and drama. This is called the art of folk theatre. Folk dances are mainly based on seasons. For example, Bhangra from Punjab, Garba from Gujarat, Chhau from Jharkhand and Odisha, Ghumar from Rajasthan, Lavani from Maharashtra and Bihu from Assam are popular folk dances of a respected place. Indian music, like the dance form, also goes back to the Vedas. These are two main schools of classical music. The North Indian school is called the Hindustani classical and the South Indian school is called the Carnatic classical. The Indian music, we have the Gharana tradition. Students learn music from a guru by living in his house. Devotional music such as couplets by Kabir and bhajans by Surdas, Tulsidas and Mirabai are sung all over the country. Now, Indian folk music also consists of traditional songs sung during festivals and weddings. We come to art and sculpture. After that, I'll give explanation. The earliest form of art based on the teaching of Buddha are the cave paintings at Ajanta and Ellora in Maharashtra. Miniature art is in Pahari, Rajput and Mughal paintings. Earlier craftsmen built monuments and places of worship. The stupas of Sanchi were built by Emperor Ashoka and the Taj Mahal by Shah Jahan. The latter is now recognized as one of the wonders of the world. Many famous monuments and buildings are a part of our heritage. Now, dance and music, everything which came to our history, Indian history or culture, was said by the mouth. We did not get any written scripts. After that, it was written what was heard. What my point? So, dancing also came in. So, everything was said through poetry or songs or by drama or by any festival occasion. Art and sculpture. Teachings of Buddha were actually all written on the wall, on the cave paintings of Ajanta and Ellora in Maharashtra. Miniature art. Miniature art is not in a huge way. Miniature art is seen in Pahari, Rajput and Mughal paintings, which are painted on canvases or on walls, are called miniature art with lot of inscriptions on it. The stupas at Sanchi were built by Ashoka. The Taj Mahal was built by Shah Jahan, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. And lot of buildings are there in India which are like the Qutub Minar is there, the Red Fort is there, then we have the monument in Kolkata, then we have the Howrah Bridge, and then we have the Delhi Parliament, then we have in Bombay we have the India Gate. Lot of monuments and building of theirs are there. Right? The temples in Meenakshi, the Meenakshi temple, then we have temples in south, we have temples in Odisha, the Sun Temple, lot of things, lot of heritage. We have the gardens in Kashmir, we have the Pink City in Rajasthan. Now food, the food grains, vegetables and fruits grown in our country vary from place to place depending upon the landform, climate and season. Spices such as chilies, turmeric, pepper, cardamom and cloves are grown. Sweets such as rasagullas, srikhand, payasam and laddus are popular in India. Rasgulla, which you call sponge here in Bihar, it is actually rasagulla. Rasgulla is actually the gravy, the sweet gravy, and gulla is that the round one, which is made through paneer, cottage cheese, which you call chena. And spices, chilies is mirchi, and turmeric is haldi, pepper is kali mirch, cardamom is elaichi, cloves are long, and srikhand, I don't know actually what is it. Srikhand is like sweet, I guess, and payasam is again rice pudding, and laddus is very popular as we all know. So India is very famous for sweets also, and rest all grow in our country depending upon the climate, what kind of land, and what. So India is very rich in vegetation and agriculture also. Clothes. Land and climate also determine the dress worn by the people of an era. Some parts are covered with thick forests and some areas are near the sea. In some parts summer are very hot and winters are very cold, while in other parts the climate is almost the same throughout the year. In India this happens. It's an equatorial region. The popular dresses in our country are salwar kameez with dupatta in Punjab, ghagra kurta with an odhni in Haryana, ghagra kachli in Rajasthan, lehenga choli in Gujarat, and a mundu blouse in Kerala. Men generally wear trousers and shirts. Other dresses for men are pajama kurta, dhoti kurta, lungi kurta or lungi shirt. Men in Rajasthan wear churidar kurta with an achkan or an angarakha, and a churidar with a jacket is worn in Gujarat. In Tamil Nadu, men's lungis are called vesti, and in Kerala they are called mundu. Men in West Bengal and Assam mostly wear dhoti kurtas. Even the style of tying the turban differs from state to state. In the hilly regions, due to the cold, the Kashmiris wear long woolen kurta called the firan. These have all changed now, but these are generally our dress code, but we are more into Western clothing in this century. And now we have added to the face mask also, and sanitizer and the social distancing. That will also go down in history in our unity of diversity. We have to accept everything and we must respect everyone. Unity, the history of the freedom movement proves that although we had and still have diverse cultures and backgrounds, people from different regions came together to fight against the foreign rules. The Indian flag, the national anthem, and the patriotic songs are all symbols of our unity. No matter what happens from wherever we are in India, but when the time of comes for the country, we are all together. We must be fighting. We are jealous. We can't say that we are not jealous of anybody. We don't fight with anybody. That is a lie. Yes, we have our differences, but at times we have to respect each and every individual, which I told you yesterday. Okay, so we'll keep it till there, and I'll come back in the next class. We'll do globalization. What is actually globalization? It's all around the world, and we'll do a case study of Kerala and Ladakh. I'll give it to you in a much more elaborated way, which will be very easy for us to know. Okay, and then we have this unity in diversity. I wanted to tell you a lot about it. Actually, I wanted to tell you more about it in a more better way. Okay, no issues. I'll do it in the next class for you. I'll tell it to you in the next class. Okay, so that's what I'll do. Just a sec. I'll come back in the next video. I'll tell it to you today. I really want to share it with you.